Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tyke from Tyke Continues Adventures. This is, I guess, unofficially part 3 of our little series about when I got laid off, lost my job at 63, and was it an opportunity or a setback? So in the last video we talked a little bit about finding another job. There's really a couple of pathways, right? You can either go out and get employed again, maybe you need to get employed again, you want to get employed again. That's one pathway, and we gave you some tips and some stuff for you to look at and to consider, and thank you for the great comments in the feedback. I encourage you to read through the comments section. There's a lot of great advice in there as well. I am not an encyclopedia of what to do when when you're a certain age and you lose your job, but maybe some of the comments in there, they've been a great help. I've had some great conversations and responses in there that have been really helpful. And I thank you for those of you submitted your comments, and really appreciate it. So a little bit about what our next step would be. So we talked about what to do, that, as far as finding a new job. Your new job is finding a new job, right? Don't panic. Just get out there and start grinding away. The process works. The worst thing you can do is do something that doesn't result in, but at least you did something, right? And that's going to lead to the next thing that you need to do. So on this one, I want to talk a little bit about my no fences, right? You're unemployed. Your choice is yours now. You can go back to work. So you can be employed either by yourself or by others, or you can retire early. And retiring early is what I decided to do. Now, there's some positives and negatives. I love the Ben Franklin. Positives, what are the positive things? This is what Ben Franklin used to do to make a decision. And then what are some of the negative things? You start with the positive side, it almost always outnumbers the negative. And if it doesn't, if you have fewer positives about a decision and more negatives, maybe that means you need to go and say no to that decision. So that's what works for me. But some things that I noticed: time flexibility. There's no more alarm clock. You don't have to be to work at 8:45 for your first meeting anymore, or rat rate stress. You'll be surprised when you're not thinking about work anymore, because you spend a lot of time thinking about work, I promise you. And you're not going to be doing any of the work you used to hate anymore. Consider that for a minute. No more reports, no more quarterly assessments, no more whatever that might be. That work isn't there anymore. You can focus on your health. One thing that I did, I lost some weight and I started eating healthier again. I was eating bad food on the run, always stressed out about work. Not a good thing for your health. And if you're not already in shape, it'll help you to get in shape. Time for stuff you enjoy. It always surprises me, but not really, because I've been in that boat too, how many people have stuff sitting in their garage they never get around to enjoying because they just don't have any time. And then by the time they do have time for it, they're no longer healthy enough, or whatever the case may be, and they could have taken advantage of that a long time ago. Time to spend with people you like. I'm not saying I didn't like my coworkers or my subordinates. They're not my family. They're not my friends, so to speak. So I get to spend time with my family and my friends that I do like. Time to think, but not about work. Consider that. Time to meditate, read, study, just things that aren't about work. And then time. Notice the overriding theme here: time. Time to assess what you want to do. What do you want to do? There's no fences, remember? What do you want to do? And there's time to think about what you need to do. Sometimes work can be so consuming that you can barely just keep up with your home life and your personal life, because you're so consumed with your work life. And especially at my age, it's a natural thing that we want to give back. So it gives you time to think about serving in the community, or serving your fellow man, or volunteering for things that maybe you always want to volunteer for. There's a lot of opportunities out there to keep you relevant, that you can volunteer and help out with the community and younger people, etc. So don't sell yourself short. You have experiences. You're needed out there. Believe me, there's always a need for service volunteers. So what about the negatives? Well, there's always negatives in everything, right? It's where the pendulum swings. You got to be careful not to become complacent. Keep up that daily routine. Get up in the morning. Since I've retired, I get up every day. I shower, I shave, I get dressed like I'm going to go to work or go do something, and I don't sit around and watch TV all day. Not that I don't sit around and watch TV from time to time, I do, but I don't do it all day. So while my wife is working, she works from home, Tina does, I'm up and about doing things. Don't be a couch potato. Those types of things can lead to isolation, depression, and declining mental health. If you stay on a daily routine and stay engaged and outgoing, you're less likely to be victim to something like that. So please be careful. It can lead to some financial, if you do nothing, maybe you need a little extra income in your retirement, but you do nothing about it and you become complacent and don't want to engage, it could cause some financial issues. And staying relevant. This is something that I read a lot about from the beginning, from the day after I got laid off. You don't want to lose that feeling of relevance. You are relevant. You have a lot to offer in the community, whether it's for your own good, whether you're going to do something for yourself, or maybe another career, being self-employed. That applies all the way across the board. So retirement income. So I'll be transparent here. I didn't retire with a bunch of money in the bank ready to go on a 2-year Caribbean cruise. I retired early with a fairly minimal amount of Social Security, but we had a plan going into that we were going to come up with something, a side hustle, so to speak, so that we could get some added income. So really on your retirement income, you can be okay, so you don't need to do anything. You don't need any extra income. You're okay, check the box, move on, go have fun. Or maybe you want or need some supplemental income or something to do that can produce some income. So in this day and age, everybody calls it the side hustle or the side gig, or the things that you're doing to make a little extra income. The great thing about the internet is it is the great business equalizer. I came out of the automotive industry, and I had little automotive dealerships that I went and consulted at that looked like, at least on the internet, they looked like they could be the biggest dealer in the world, or the most service-oriented dealer in the world, or whatever that may be. And I had big dealers that really didn't do much with their internet presence that I'm sure got passed over just because they looked like an average place to do business. So the internet's the great equalizer, but within that realm, there's so many things you can do and take advantage of that you don't really need any special tools or equipment or talent. You know, I guarantee you I'm not talented. But these side hustles can produce income over time. Now, we're not going to take a lot of time today to go into exactly how you do that within each one of these venues, but here's the overview. And these are some things I hadn't really thought about until I retired. So YouTube channels, hello, here we are. You can monetize YouTube channels. We have some resources and stuff. If you want to ask us what we're doing, how we're doing it, send us a comment. We'll get back to you on it. You know, if there's enough demand, maybe we'll go into it more in depth. But there's a lot of people out there telling you how to do YouTube. Then I'm still learning, but the real key is doing. So YouTube channels, online sales and reselling. So I come from a sales background. I'm very comfortable in this space. There's a lot of places you can sell things at. eBay, Craigslist, Etsy, Facebook Marketplace, Whatnot, which is an auction site. You can offer services within that context. Products, what kind of products can you sell? I encourage you, if there's something you really like and are passionate about, look into selling and trading that. Maybe it's you know, pins, maybe it's knives, maybe it's something, you know, antique furniture, whatever. If you're passionate about it, you will do better at that than anything else. But with what kind of products can you offer? Collectibles. I buy and sell toys, and it's a pretty easy gig. Vintage items. Are there vintage clothing, vintage products? If you're inclined to do so, automobiles, motorcycles, boats, anything like that. Resale of whatever, or services. Maybe you offer services. Maybe you can pet sit. Maybe you can draw, paint, lawn and garden. You know, there's a lot of things you can do to create extra income on the side. But what I say is this: what is it that, this is some of the things that we're doing, YouTube, reselling. What is it you do? Share with us in the comments. What are you doing? You know, and we're not going to trade we're not going to take your secrets in, but you know, there's room for everybody out there. Or maybe there's something you want to do. Again, I'm not a business expert. I did spend a lot of time consulting in automotive businesses, and I do have some basics that I can back up I can talk the talk and walk the walk. But let us know what you're looking at. Let us know what kind of ideas out there. Let's share as a community. I look forward to hearing from you. There's more to come on this. And make sure you hit that like and subscribe. See you soon.